Rhythmic. So, we are still talking about a conscious relationship. So, try to complete the subject today in whatever way possible. See, relating, if we can take relating to be an art. Each moment in life, we are always relating to something, maybe someone, to the, the environment around us. So, we have to develop that gaze which we are talking about. And to develop that gaze, there would be a kind of consciousness in everything we do. Right? So it is not that you look at someone with a gaze of love and the rest of the time you have any gaze you want. So it has to translate down to everything. To the basic small things of life. I'm wearing my shoes, but can I handle my shoes with softness? I'm taking off my shoes there, but do I take them out hard or do I take them out soft? Do I close the door of the car hard? Do I close it soft? See, each thing, if we can bring consciousness and if we can bring that gaze of a lover in every small thing we do, then slowly we develop that gaze. And then when we are observing ourselves through that gaze of love, that gaze of astonishment, then miracles start happening. But that gaze has to be developed. Gaze એટલે દ્રષ્ટિ. એ દ્રષ્ટિ કેળવવી પડે. જીવનની નાની નાની ઘટનાઓની અંદર. એટલે હર ક્ષણે જો એ દ્રષ્ટિ આપણે કેળવી શકીએ તો આપણા જીવનમાં ક્યાંય પણ આગ્રહ નહીં આવે. હર ક્ષણે સોફ્ટનેસ હોય. હું મારા શૂઝ પહેરું છું તો સોફ્ટનેસથી પહેરું છું કે આગ્રહથી પહેરું છું, ઉતાવળથી પહેરું છું. રાઈટ? ઉતાવળથી પહેરું છું તો એ દ્રષ્ટિ નથી, એક પ્રેમીની દ્રષ્ટિ નથી. રાઈટ? અહીંયા શૂઝ બહાર કાઢ્યા તો પ્રેમીની દ્રષ્ટિથી કાઢ્યા કે એમને મશીનની જેમ કાઢી તો મંદિરની અંદર મશીન જ આવ્યું. તો જીવનની નાની નાની વસ્તુની અંદર જો એ દ્રષ્ટિ આપણે કેળવી શકીએ, એક પ્રેમની દ્રષ્ટિ, તો સ્લોલી એ જે દ્રષ્ટિ આપણે આપણા બોડી બ્રેઇન સિસ્ટમ એટલે આપણું જે મિકેનિકલ સાઇડ છે એની ઉપર જે દ્રષ્ટિ આપણે ફેંકવી છે, મૂકવી છે, એ આપણી અંદર તૈયાર થાય. એવું નથી કે એક રાતની અંદર કે આપણે પ્રેમમાં પડી જાય એટલે દ્રષ્ટિ આવી જાય. થોડું એ પ્રેક્ટિસ કરી શકાય એમ જીવનની નાની નાની વસ્તુઓની અંદર. ઓકે, હવે આપણે કોન્શિયસ રિલેશનશિપ થોડા બીજી વસ્તુ. ગઈકાલે જે વાત થઈ, first take it in English. So we just go through a few things that when two people want to get together in a conscious relationship, we said the first thing is non-expression of negative emotion, but that is a very wide. So the first thing is that they must decide that there will be no blaming for anything. you were late, that is why the son did not reach school on time, or I did not reach office on time, or you had not made lunch on time. Right? No blaming. In a conscious relationship, there is no space for blaming one another. So we sacrifice blaming. It is not that we don't feel like blaming, we become conscious of it and we drop it. We drop it consciously. So now we are moving into the relationship with consciousness. So the two partners in the relationship, right? They say from now on we will not blame the other about anything, and that very thought of blaming the other person can become something to provoke consciousness, to bring in consciousness, right? એટલે પહેલી વસ્તુ આપણે એ નક્કી કરશું કે બીજાનો વાંક નહીં કરે.
દોષારોપણ
એટલે
બ્લેમિંગ
દોષનો આરોપ, દોષનો આરોપ. બરાબર. Right? So if we see the other partner's fault, we pause, and we don't identify with that. Then when we have to say it, we tell the other partner, okay, here you were identified. Here you were identified. Now, we can also use that state of blaming for self-remembering. Right? We did see that day that when we are doing self-observation, we are always in this time. When we are doing self-remembering, we are in this time. Right? There are two separate times. Right? When we are extending the feeling of I, we are moving into another time. When we are expanding the feeling of I, we are moving in another time. So, if we can use that moment for self-remembering, that I am blaming him, I am blaming her, right? And at that moment I remember when I was in the same situation, exactly the same mistake which he or she has done, when was I in the same situation? This becomes what you call, we are now moving into our memory patterns. These are sanskar. Memory patterns is sanskar. We are changing the sanskar. It is the sanskar which binds a man, the memory patterns which bind a man. Right? So you're changing that bandhan by remembering when you were in the same situation. Now, what is the kind of love between the two partners? Is it love based on emotion, or is it love based on value? Love based on emotion is full of imagination. It's 99% imagination. Right? So, then I will love and hate the same person. I will love and hate the same person. Right? So love based on emotion and love based on value. What would love based on value mean? જે બંને વચ્ચે પ્રેમ છે, એ લાગણીનો પ્રેમ છે કે કોઈક અર્થનો પ્રેમ છે, કોઈક લક્ષ્યનો પ્રેમ છે? Love based on some aim. What would be the difference? If I love a person through emotion, then that love is subject to the swing of the pendulum. Swing of the pendulum. But I love a person out of value. I love a person because both of us have the same aim to awaken. We both have the same aim to awaken from the sleep of life. Right? આપણે બંનેની અંદર એ જ લક્ષ્ય છે કે જીવનની જે નિદ્રા છે એમાંથી આપણે જાગવું છે. તો હવે જે પ્રેમ છે, It is based a લક્ષ્યના આધારિત પ્રેમ છે. હવે value based love based on the aim to awaken, it is based on valuing each other. Okay, he or she is valuable for my awakening. Now it is not just emotional love. So each moment we should be able to discriminate between emotional attraction and value-based attraction based on aim. Based on aim, apna lakshya. Now, if we can discriminate that, then all the attachments which come with emotional attraction, we want to drop them, sacrifice them. Right? એટલે લાગણી બેઝ જે અટ્રેક્શન છે, એકબીજાનું આકર્ષણ છે, જે લાગણીમાંથી ઉત્પન્ન થાય છે, we want to drop all, એની સાથે જે વ્યવહારમાં આવે એ બધું આપણે એને ત્યાગ કરવું છે. We want to sacrifice everything which comes out of an emotional attachment. This takes time. It is not so easy. All our fantasies, all the dreams we have, that living with this person I will do this, all the fantasies. All the fantasies. All the mechanical imaginations. That life will be so good with him and her or whatever. Anything that leads to jealousy. Right? If I am feeling jealous of my partner, I am in the wrong space. Drop it immediately. Sacrifice it immediately. Right? You're in a very, very wrong state. Possessiveness. Right? Because it is based on aim. It is not based on emotional attachment. Right? Emotional attachment brings possessiveness. My wife, my husband. Possessiveness. Possessiveness. My wife must listen to me. Possessiveness. Right? So, all these attachments, domination. Domination, Gujarati was Adhikar bhav. Right? So all these things come with emotional attraction. Emotional attraction. Right? They will come, be conscious, sacrifice. Again they will come, again be conscious, sacrifice. Sacrifice every preconceived notion. Badhai purvagrah have to be sacrificed. All preconceived notions. Right? See, everybody has preconceived notions that I will only marry a person who is like this, like this, like this. So he has to fit into what my idea of liking is, what my idea of approval is. And we don't realize that this whole picture of approval, this whole picture of liking has come out of our mechanical habits, have come out of our mechanical associations, has come that we have these likes and dislikes, and out of that we say this is the person. So all those preconceived notions, all the prejudices that he should be like this, he should not be like this, only then will I relate to him. Only then will I relate to him. Osho used to give lovely jokes. And there was one old lady, he says, we met the old lady and said, why didn't you get married in life? He says, I didn't get married. I did see many men came in my life. I saw all of them, but I did not get married. Why? So I was looking for the perfect man. So he says, so in this whole life you didn't find the perfect man? He says, no, I found him, but he was looking for the perfect woman. So, all the preconceived notions. please understand that bodies unite immediately. For psychology, for two psychologies to unite takes years and years. Because even when bodies unite, the psychologies are fighting with each other. Right? So physically two people can meet, they can also merge into one physically, but for psychologically for them to merge into one will take a very, very long time. And it is only through conscious effort that this is possible. Right? Otherwise, all good marriages which we see in life are just two people who have come to terms with each other. Right? Don't think they are conscious marriages. Right? They've just come to terms with each other. If we could study each one's inner daydreaming and inner chattering, we would know what the marriage was really about. Right? But it's mainly they sort of just adjust with each other. So initially psychologies clash. They are going to fight with each other. They will blame each other, they will find fault with each other, they will possess each other, they will feel hurt with each other, they will try to dominate one another. This goes on. This is the beginning of marriage, beginning of relationship. Bodies meet, psychologies clash. Then comes love through value. And love through value comes because we both have the same aim. Apno lakshya bevno aim chhe. Love through value. And in that, there is a sacrifice of the lower psychic nature. Each time the lower psychic nature comes, we start sacrificing. We separate from everything that is false within us. All the pictures we have of ourselves. આપણી અંદર જે બધું જૂઠાણું છે એમાંથી ધીરે ધીરે આપણે મુક્ત થતા જાય. અને મેઇન જે જૂઠાણું છે એ આલ્બમ ઓફ પિક્ચર્સ. Album of pictures. Falsities. Everywhere where we have invented ourselves, there will be many struggles and many failures. ઘણી વખત હારી પણ જશું, ફરીથી we struggle. This does not mean that there must be no affection. Without affection, a relationship is not possible. There must be reciprocal affection for each other. Affection, real affection has a tender feeling about it, एक soft feeling હોય છે. લાગણીનું, real લાગણીનું એક soft feeling હોય છે. And we must remain conscious that the softness remains. If it becomes hard, then somewhere now we are holding a prejudice, somewhere we are holding a grievance, somewhere કંઈક ગાંઠ અંદર બંધાઈ ગઈ તો જ એક કઠણ થઈ જાય. એ લાગણી. Now see the stages which affection goes through. Affection goes through different stages. First is the imaginary stage. That is, two people meet, they come with all their bag of romantic imagination. So their two romantic imaginations meet. Then one day the guy sees the girl talking with somebody else, laughing with somebody else. He feels jealous, all the romantic imagination starts breaking. Right? So the first stage of affection is imaginary. Now we work to be free of all the self-emotions we talked about. Right? We are free of all that. Now the second stage comes. The second stage. And that is, now there is no imagination left in the relationship, but there are still differences. Right? There are still differences. So now we want to make that which is contradictory into complementary. We want to complement the other. complement the other. And the real technique in this is initially never say no. Never say no. So whenever the two partners, one of them disagrees, or I'm sorry, both of them disagrees, one of them has to consciously sacrifice. And there is no accounting. Last time you sacrificed, so this time I will sacrifice. There is no accounting in this. Otherwise, again, we move back into the lower psychic nature. So slowly we understand that we disagree, but we go beyond. Why is the person saying this? Now I can understand beyond. Now each one will experience the other person's difficulties. Why he or she is saying this. Once all the contradictions in the marriage, in the relationship, over a long period of years, they start becoming complementary. Initially two bodies were merging, now two psychologies will merge. Two psychologies will merge. Right? There will be no more, because there are no contradictions remaining in the marriage, we have reached a state where we are free of opposites. Dvaitmati or Dvaitmani. Ek bijana purak thi. We complement each other. Complement. But this is consciously complementing each other. We have passed through this whole stage. Right? So this was a few points which I wanted to add in that conscious. Now we come back to where we were yesterday, that gaze. That gaze. So what did we say yesterday about the gaze? Apne kaisu baat kareli? Where did we start from? Where did we start from? Can we look upon our own body-brain system in the same way we look upon a lover? The same way. आज बात नहीं थी कल, हाँ? कि આપણું જે mechanical side છે, our lower psychic nature, our body-brain system, can we throw attention upon it? The same way we throw attention upon our lover. That is, we gaze upon ourselves in the same way. From self-love, it becomes love of self. We had said yesterday. Right? What happens? What happens? What does a woman seek from a man? एक स्त्री पुरुष પાસે શું શોધે છે? What does a woman seek from a man? Huh? Is complete, total, unwavering, one-pointed attention. Right? You see a newly married couple, both of them are shining. Why are they shining? Why are they shining? Why does her skin shine, not become dull like our skin becomes? You see, it's very easy to know a person is in love, right? Why does the skin shine? Why does the man's skin shine and why does the woman's skin shine? Come on, tell me. Right? In India, we have a saying that on the day of her marriage, the bride looks so beautiful. Right? In India, we have a saying, right? Only on the day of the marriage. Huh? I think the beautiful, I don't know, of all the bhakti yogis, there was a whole period in India when there were so many bhakti yogis. I've been for 800 years. And small bhakti yogis who have written super beautiful bhajans. And there's one of a Paltu, I don't know if you've heard of his name, Paltu. And Paltu's guru was Dadu Bhagwan. Not the Dada Bhagwan, but Dadu Dayal, his name was Dadu Dayal. Dadu Dayal. And see, the Paltu it was his marriage day. It was his marriage day. And he's climbing his horse and he's going to the marriage mandap on the horse. Right? And he is just about to reach the marriage mandap. And he looks, and in the corner there is one person standing over there. And that is his guru, Dadu Dayal. Dadu Dayal. And he looks in his eyes. He has never met him before. He looks in his eyes. And something in those eyes, he sees. And he realizes the stupidity in what he was going to do. Marriage is not stupid, but right, what he was going to. And he gets down from the horse and he goes behind, right, and he lives with his guru for some years, and then he has written a beautiful bhajan. It's called Paltuwai. So the transformation happened in a minute. This is the gaze we are talking about, the gaze. Dadu must have had that gaze in his eyes when he looked upon Paltu. And that gaze is alchemical, that gaze is alchemical. It changes the chemistry of the person on whom it falls. Right? So now we are talking about that gaze. So again, why does the woman shine and why does the man shine? The boy and the girl, why do they shine?
They only have eyes for each other.
Huh?
They only have eyes for each other.
No, it's all on attention.
Yeah.
The answer is in attention. The answer is in attention. What is the quality of man's attention? Is it one-pointed or fragmented? Fragmented. Basically, man's attention is a fragmented attention. He is interested in the games, he is interested in politics, right? He is interested in the theater, right? So he has so many interests. So many interests. His attention is not a one-pointed attention. And when attention is fragmented, there is no power in the attention. Sometimes he is interested in this, 6 months later he'll be interested in that, etc., etc. Now the IPL comes, he's interested in IPL, right? And something else will come tomorrow. A woman's attention is not so fragmented. A woman's attention is one-pointed. It roams around in very small things, my home, my family, right? There's not much fragmentation in a woman's attention. Second thing, a woman has to bring up children. So nature also helps her in having a sort of one-pointed attention. In nature, the male only serves one purpose, whether it is in bees or ants or whatever. Right? So they are allowed to have fragmented attention. They need new toys. The man needs new toys. Now, when does a man shine and when does a woman shine? I've given you everything. Now you must be able to understand. When they fall in love, but why? What is the answer? Come on. The woman there is a transformation in the woman when man's attention falls upon her, but not ordinary attention. 1 second it falls and then it falls on some actress or something, then it doesn't matter. Right? It has to fall totally. So when the man falls in love, right, his attention falls upon the woman and she starts responding to that attention, because now the attention is total, one-pointed, unwavering. So the woman shines. Why does the man shine? Why does the man shine? આ સમજાયું ગુજરાતીમાં કે બોલું ગુજરાતીમાં? ઓકે. કે સ્ત્રી જે ચમકે છે હે કે પુરુષનું ટોટલ અટેન્શન એમની ઉપર આવ્યું એટલે પુરુષ શું કામ ચમકે છે? બોલો બોલો. Because his attention is naturally fragmented, but for this certain moment of time that he has fallen in love, for that moment of time the attention suddenly becomes one pointed, so he also shines, but it is all temporary. After 2-3 months of love, then the ball game is going on, cricket game is going on, she'll shout at him 2-3 times, he'll say hang on, and the attention gets fragmented again. It has not become one pointed out of inner effort. It has not become one pointed out of inner. Here the whole secret lies. The whole secret lies. If we can look at our own body brain system with that attention, this very moment we will get everything. Oh, why wait for so many lifetimes? This very moment it has to happen, if we can look. So what kind of attention we need? Full of amazement, shock, intense pleasure and joy, rapture, thankfulness, and then there is an awakening inside. So what does a woman want from the man? His complete, total, one-pointed attention. And then she changes, she transforms. In bathing in that attention, she transforms. Right? उन्हें ये जिद है कि मुझे देख के किसी और को न देख. उन्हें ये जिद है कि मुझे देख के किसी और को न देख. मेरा ये शौक है कि सबको सलाम करता चलूं. Jagjeet Singh. Man he likes to meet everyone. So when he pays attention to her, now we are moving into not just a conscious relationship, but the deep esoteric idea of a relationship. So he pays attention to her. She loves it, and she does everything to hold his attention. Whether it is the way she dresses, whether it is the way she wears jewelry, whether it is her cooking, whether it is the new perfume, anything to hold the attention. Because in the light of a man's attention, a woman is transformed. And this is exactly the same for outer woman, inner woman. She responds. So it is now this is what we were talking about, reciprocal affection. She responds. She must receive the right attention. Right? And in that she takes a posture of adoration. Right? So the man gives attention, Purush attention ape, and she takes a posture of adoration. Adoration એટલે પૂજ્ય ભાવ. Right? Only through attention. Then this became like a, rule making came in India, which was very dirty. The science was lost. Right? And then the whole thing became like manipulating the woman. You must look upon your husband as God. Right? Look upon the husband as God. If he gives the right attention. Right? If he gives the right attention, then it happens automatically. But then it became a kind of thing in society to repress women. The science got lost out of it and it was misused. So to hold his attention, she will do anything. Wear clothes, cosmetics, have children. She may even take interest in what he likes. So if the IPL comes and he is watching the IPL, she may also sit down to watch the IPL. Take an interest in what he likes. The more powerful the man can throw attention on a woman, the more powerful she responds, exponential in her adoration for him. Right? She adores him completely. Adores ne Gujarati se kaise? Adoration in Gujarati. Hum to pujiya bhav sai karte. This gives the woman deep fulfillment. Deep fulfillment. Just the throwing of attention. See, in any ordinary, relationship, right? In the end, what is it? It is investment of? What do we invest? What do we invest? We invest attention. In any relationship, we invest attention. Supposing I'm new in college and I fall in love with a girl, what do? I go and tell her I love you? It's not possible. Right? I invest attention. I say, would you like to go out for a Coca-Cola? Or would you go for a walk? Right? Then I'll say, after a few days, I'll say, would you like to go for a movie? Then after the second movie, I'll say, can I catch your hand in the movie? So you keep on investing attention. Right? Then after 6 months you say I love you. But now when you say I love you, that 6 months of investment is there behind that I love you. You just go and say I love you, you get a slap in the face. So all relationships are based on investment of attention. Based on investment of attention. So here is the same thing. In spirituality is not anything different. So everything the woman does is to hold the man's attention. She may learn to walk in a different way. You know, this way, tuck, tuck, what you call it. She may posture in different postures. You know that posture like this. Different postures. Right? Many of them, the hair opens up, again they'll close. Again after 5 minutes, the hair will open. Again they'll close. Right? Everything for attention. Everything for attention. So, she'll practice speaking in a certain way. The tone of the voice must be mesmerizing. She'll learn to manipulate how to hold the mouth round or straight or right? All that. How to hold her eyes. There's certain subtle movements of the eyes, right? So supposing I can't go to a girl and say I wink at her. It's not possible. But I can look at her like this and then I can just move my eyes a little like this. The message goes. The message goes. So all these subtle movements. But I'm not saying I did it, I say that. But they practice in front of the mirror. So she knows that all this will catch the man's attention. All this is to catch the man's attention. She needs that attention. This attention is so important to her. Can you see the whole of Jagruti, the whole of waking up in life is just two things. The woman gets attention, she wakes up. The man's attention becomes one-pointed, he wakes up. This is all this. This is the basic idea of Tantra. Basic idea of Tantra. Everything is attention. He throws attention on her in such a way that she blossoms like a flower And in that throwing of attention, his attention, which was fragmented, becomes one-pointed, and he wakes up. It is this reciprocal arrangement. Reciprocal arrangement. But man does not want to hold his attention in one place. Nature has made him in such a way, he wants to keep his attention free. It takes years of practice. Years of practice. He likes to have his attention scattered in so many things. His hobby, his this, his that. So many things he wants it. Right? And if the woman tries to hold his attention in one place, he starts feeling frightened. He starts feeling that something is going wrong. Yeah, he feels that if he's going into a prison. Right? બોલે ને કે આવું મને ખબર હોત કે લગ્ન આવું જેલ હોત તો પહેલેથી વિચારી લે. So man's attention, it wants to be free. इतना तू मुझसे न प्यार बढ़ा के मैं एक बादल आवारा. He wants to, like the cloud, go wherever it's possible. Right? And the woman understands this and she tries to accommodate it. So if he takes interest in cricket, she takes an interest in cricket. He takes interest in computers, she takes interest in computers. Right? He takes interest in politics, she takes interest in politics. And she tries in all ways to hold his attention. And this is natural in a woman. Natural in a woman. But she may give up. A certain time may come when she gives up, then she just goes her way in life. Right? I'm not saying all successful women are the ones who have given up. No, we're not saying that. But she can go to any lengths to hold a man's attention. In many cases, the woman is even willing to self-efface herself, even willing to debase herself. She may even take a number of insults from him, a number of debasing from him. What's the case of Gujarati?
અવમાનના.
એની પાસે ઇન્સલ્ટ ગાળ તો નહીં પણ શું કે આપણે એને નીચે ઉતારવું એ બધું એ પચાવી લે કારણ કે એને attention. Deep down, a woman knows the secret of life. A man does not know the secret of life. And the secret of life is a deep, fulfilling, complete relationship. Conscious relationship. She knows, but she knows mechanically. She does not know. She feels deep down somewhere that, oh, if I can have some relationship where I merge into some. Right? But she doesn't know the why of that. She can't understand the why of that. Right? હરેક સ્ત્રીને ક્યાંક તો અંદર છે કે એવો જો સંબંધ મળે જ્યાં સાવ આમ પૂર્ણતા આવી જાય, પરિપક્વતા આવી જાય. પણ સુકામ એની અંદર આ એક છે એને ખબર નથી પડતી. પુરુષને અંદર તો આ ખબર જ નથી. And if she is successful, and if she is able to hold the attention of the man, then she is not interested in anything else. She will remain interested in going deeper and deeper into the relationship. Then she wants to be touched deeper, she wants to be felt deeper, she wants to be fulfilled. And when we talk about this, fulfillment is not the right word, because no man can ever know the anguish which a woman passes through. Right? The feeling of incompleteness which a woman passes through. So in every relationship, the woman does go through this period of anguish, because deep down she's looking for something which she cannot touch. She cannot touch. She wants the man to find her in her deepest part. And it rarely, very rarely happens. And that is why a woman's life a lot of it is filled with inner deep anguish and inner deep of somewhere the unfulfillment deep inside. Unfulfillment is not the right word actually. And man rarely gets the message. He's always involved somewhere else. But what the woman does not know that this cannot be done in an ordinary relationship. Both of them must go into a conscious relationship. A man's attention is outside the sphere of a deep relationship. He loves to play with toys in his life, different toys in his life, right? In the morning, if the wife brings the cup of tea, he's not interested in looking at the wife. He's interested in when the newspaper is coming, right? So, this is the basic thing, that a man has to work on only one thing, that is his wandering attention. And it is in this regard that nature puts woman in front of him. That you have to work on your wandering attention. She will teach you to work on your wandering attention, because she does not have a wandering attention. She knows what is a one-pointed attention. You do not know what is a one-pointed attention. She will teach you. And that is why in Tantra all the great teachers were women. One of the greatest teachers of Buddhist Tantra, his name was Sarha. And Sarha was the guru of the king. He used to live in the king's court. And Sarha's disciple Nagarjuna is the greatest name in Buddhist Tantra. Right? And Sarha, he was known all over the country in India. People used to flock to meet him. And he was known as a great meditator. He would sit in meditation, and the king would always take his advice and everything. One day, his guru came to him in a dream. And he says that go and learn from the woman in the crematorium. Now Sarha was a Brahmin of the highest caste. The people who work in the crematorium, they were of the lowest caste. And here, the Guru has come in a dream and told him that you have to go and learn at the feet of the woman who is working in the crematorium. She is of the lowest caste. She is of the lowest caste. Right? And he goes. It has come from the Guru, and he goes. And she is there in the crematorium. And when he goes, she is burning a dead body. She's putting the wood this way and putting the wood this way. And he looks at her. And from far he sees that she is burning the bodies with a different kind of attention. This gaze which we are talking about. She is looking upon the dead body as if you are looking upon your lover. Right? She was no ordinary woman. No ordinary woman. Right? And he goes to her and she says, take off all your rich clothes, right? And come and help me with these dead bodies. We've got so many bodies to burn. And the one who was the king's advisor, he comes down and starts working with an ordinary Shudra girl in the crematorium. And he lives with that girl for, they say, little more than 1 year. 1 year. Right? And in that 1 year, he learns this from her. This. So, through all his years of meditation, what attention could not become one-pointed, he learned from this woman. He learned the secret of life from this woman. This is the basic. And then he creates the Buddhist Tantra. The Buddhist Tantra. And his very big name in Buddhist Tantra, and he has written a book called The Golden Verses of Sarha. The Golden Verses of Sarha. And so beautiful that he was the great guru, but he had to learn from an ordinary woman. So it is this giving of reciprocal attention. One takes the attention and transforms, blossoms like a flower. Other one gives the attention. In that he sacrifices everything else. He slowly sacrifices everything else and keeps on giving that one-pointed attention. The woman cannot directly tell the man, put your attention on me. It has to be said in a roundabout way. So many times she may have to wait for many years. Many years. So if a man can move into a conscious relationship with a woman with proper attention, that attention has a gaze of love, then he transforms her and he himself awakens from the mechanical sleep of life. In this process, he has to sacrifice all his small interests. Right? And in sacrificing his small interests, his newspaper, his politics, his cricket match, his this, his that, he slowly starts sacrificing. In that, his whole ego as a man gets dissolved. In that process of sacrificing, that whole ego of what he is as a man dissolves. એ ધીરે ધીરે પોતાનું જે કંઈ એને ગમે છે એ બધું એ ત્યાગ કરતો જાય. Joy of sacrifice. Not complaining and sacrificing. Joy of sacrifice. And he starts making his attention one-pointed. And એ ત્યાગ કરતો જશે એની અંદર પોતાનો. This is very important. Very, very important. Because in the final stages, when the ego dissolves, the final ego which dissolves is I am male, I am female. It dissolves. It dissolves. There's that very, very famous story, forgotten the name. કોણ સિંહ ઉપર બેસીને જ્ઞાનેશ્વર પાસે આવેલું, વાઘ ઉપર બેસીને ચાંગદેવ. The very famous story of Gyaneshwar and Changdev. Changdev came to Gyaneshwar sitting on a tiger, and then he becomes a disciple of Gyaneshwar. Right? And Changdev was a big person. He had so many siddhis, so many powers and all that. And Gyaneshwar was just a poor, ordinary person. And one day, Gyaneshwar's elder sister Mukta was having a bath in the river, and Changdev passed from there. And when he saw that she was having a bath, he looked away like this. And Mukta shouted from there, "Okay, you have still not dissolved that male and female ego. You have still not dissolved that male and female ego," she shouted. Right? So, the final ego which dissolves, when the ego is dissolving, is I am male, I am female. So in this giving up of his small interests, the man slowly dissolves his ego. He effaces himself completely. He dies completely as a man. He is now going to be reborn as something totally different in this giving of attention to the woman. But if he does not want to leave all his, what do you call, imaginary interests, then it will not be possible. In a psychological sense, it is a gender change. From all the aggressiveness of being a man, he becomes a receptive inner. It's not, I won't say woman, but feminineness. Feminineness. Right? He absorbs the truth. He absorbs the truth. Such a man who can slowly put all his attention, put that love, the gaze of love on a woman, who solely sacrifices everything. This is the real alchemy in life. And such a man we will call an alchemist. Real alchemist. So, this is one technique, simple technique which we talked about. There is a possibility of awakening ourselves, the mechanical lower psychic self which we have, waking up from it just by looking at it in a certain way. As we practice self-observation, certain times when you are in that posture, look at your own self, your own psychic nature with an attitude of love, with an attitude of joy, and for that moment, that small moment, the whole mechanical part will drop and you'll wake up to something higher. You'll experience it. It'll come back again. Again, the normal self-observation will start. But from self-observation, there will be some small moments of self-remembering. Right? You'll wake up to another dimension. So here I'll finish my thing on relationships. 3 days we have been talking about relationship. Right? So if there's any question, we'll take it.
Yeah.
I've missed the last 3 days, but I want to go back to a question around some of the ideas that you've shared with us about the relationship between parents and their children. Is there a difference between the love that a father has for the children and the mother has for the children?
I don't have the exact English word, but in our what you call Indian terminology, we call it Vatsalya. So we don't have in English there's only one word, love. Right? So there is no separate word for love for father to son or father to daughter. Love for wife is also love, love for son is also love. Whilst in Sanskrit we have different words for everything. So there's definitely a difference. And for the father, there are so many things which are hidden in his psychology. They are a part of his unconscious. They are a part of his side which is normally not conscious. And it is with the birth of a child that that side which is not conscious comes into conscious. Right? See, I'll take my case. I never wanted to have children. So my guru forced me to have children. And then I realized that on the birth of a daughter, that so many fears which were lying in my unconscious, which would never have manifested in this life. You understand what I'm trying to say? Right? They would have never come out into my conscious mind, but they came out because there was a birth of a daughter. That does not mean I was free of them previously. I was not free of them. They were lying there in my unconscious. There was no outer incident which could provoke them. Right? Now with the birth of a daughter, so many things came out. With the birth of a son, some things come out. With the birth of a daughter, many, many more things come out for the father. Right? So many hidden fears. Right? So it adds to our, what you call, what we have to observe in ourselves. Otherwise, I would never have been able to observe that. So there is a definite difference between the love a woman has for her children and the father has for the children. Because in the father, everything is hidden. It comes after the birth of the children. Whilst the mother has become a mother much before that. She knows that creation is in her womb. She knows. Right? Even when she's a young girl, she's playing with dolls. Right? She knows that creation is in her womb. Whilst for what do you call a man, it is only after the birth of a child. Right? And that is the thing, that if there is no marriage and you don't have children, supposing I had followed what I wanted, I had not met my guru, then those fears would never have manifested. I would have said I'm free of those fears. But then they would have still been lying there. They would have not come into my, what you call, area of observation, my field of observation. So it's very important. Very important. A lot of, with the birth of a girl, a lot of there's a transformation in the father's aggressiveness. He becomes much softer, much softer. With the birth of a boy, he doesn't become so soft. When the boy is small, there is a kind of softness. But with the birth of a girl, that softness remains. Right? The father cannot get angry on the girl. Right? Cannot get angry. Right? He cannot say anything to her. So then a different kind of relationship grows. Now we have to go back a little. That at the time of choosing a womb, what happens to the soul? When the soul chooses a womb, supposing the soul is now the time for the soul to take birth, right? How is the soul's sex decided? The soul is not a man or woman. It is after conception that it is, it is decided, maybe in next few months, that it is man or woman. The soul is not man or woman. Right? Now, the soul chooses to be born over here. And at the time of choosing the parents, the soul is attracted to either the male or the female, or in other words, the father or the mother. And this is not ordinary attraction, this is deep attraction. Right? So, if that soul has chosen this father and mother by attraction to the mother, his gender becomes a male. And if he has chosen this mother and father by attraction to the father, then the gender becomes a female. Right? So the relationship is made right over there between father and daughter at the time of the soul is choosing, not after the birth also.
Today you spoke about complete distribution of the ego, right? But a week or so back, you also spoke about it, and then you said we should maintain a small amount of ego for, I'm not sure what for subconsciousness or
for policing all the thing up here. You need a policeman, there's too much traffic.
I think the terminology used was for the right use of
right use
consciousness.
So there is dissolution of the ego in a moment where you experience a higher state. But that state doesn't remain. You come back into a state of relationship with life, with the universe, with people, right? With yourself. There are three parts to our relationship: self, others, universe. Right? And in that the ego is needed again. But now this is a different ego. It is not the ego which was saying, I am the master. It is now the ego which is a slave. It is just it is needed inside. It is needed inside. Right? I said we have 4 centers: the intellectual center, the emotional center, the moving and the instinctive center. And the ego is needed. You need a secretary which sends the right, what you call, impression to the right center. Right? No, you have those polyclinics. There's one secretary, right, and one orthopedic and one eye doctor and one this doctor. If she sends the, what you call, fellow with a broken bone to the eye doctor, there's going to be problems, right? So, and that's what's happening inside of us. And the wrong thing is going to the wrong place. So then the ego performs this policing task, that's all. But you have separated. You have separated. You are no longer the ego.
Rajen?
Yeah.
I think a few years ago there's a colleague of mine that used the term soulmate. Like he's found his soulmate. I think in context of what you spoke about today, it's quite a nice term.
See, I don't know how much time I have. Because I want to finish the law of octaves. And at some time in the law of octaves, I want to take the planets. So everybody is mainly vibrating towards a certain planet. Supposing your type is Saturnine, supposing. And if you are making a move towards Venus, right? This is an inner movement of consciousness. So you may find the right person who is Venusian. That will be a soulmate, because the soul is made of planetary matter, right? But all the soulmate which we read in books outside, mainly a lot of it is what you call just imagination. Imagination. But many people have touched upon it. I think the very famous one was Shirley MacLaine when she wrote that book, I think, which was it? Climb Every Mountain or something of that sort. People talk about it. So I don't know, because I stopped the law of octaves, and whether to take it from tomorrow again or not, I'm not very sure as yet to continue it or not. But at one point, once you've understood the movement, the inner movement of the law, then you know which astrological type finds its completeness in which astrological type. I'm not talking about normal astrology, right? And then you realize what a soulmate is. That this inner soul is vibrating with this planet. Which planet does he move towards? Who attracts him at that level of the soul? Him or her at that level of the soul. So that is a different thing. But most of what we read outside is just imagination. People, I don't know what, they bring everything together. Shall we? Okay, Jai Shri Krishna.
Yes, yes.